G'day, hi and welcome. Oh man, I have unveiled the horrors. All right, okay, so I went to check out my air filter there, but yeah, so I got that little cover off, so we can see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, look at how rusty everything is. And I already broke my first part. Let's celebrate, guys. I broke that little tab bolt there, so I'll have to get that one out and get a new bolt in there. That was pretty rusted in there. I'll have to get that bracket off completely and clean it. At least I can see what I'm dealing with now. Yeah, there's a lot of corrosion in there. There's one of the new plugs or coils. Yeah. So getting the plugs out of there is going to be a pain in the buttocks. I have to remove the fuel rail in order to do so. All this has to come out. The modular engine is not a bad design for the most part, but the way they did this, I mean, look at all that corrosion in there. I don't know if I should just, because I would like I say, I would like to get it down. Like I have to take all this off, get it running. I think I'm gonna get it running like this. I'll leave it. This is again how stalled tactics goes all the time. I gotta get more gas now. I'll run it up, get it started, run it up. So I gotta get that battery charged up again when I get my charger back. And what I'm gonna do is remove all this after I heat it up, or know that it's gonna stay running and start. Once I know it's gonna do that, because I don't want to attempt to take those plugs out on a cold engine. I mean, I could attempt it, but it's one of those things that it's so easy to break those plugs. And if you do, then you got to take the whole head off. But looking at all this corrosion, I think I might have to do that anyway. You know, if I'm going to do the job, I'm going to do the job. You know what I mean? But I want to do things in stages. Now, the throttle body is one of the first things I want to get at and clean. But as we can see how rusty that is, I bet you it's still good. It's just, I bet you it's completely black and sooty in there. That's probably the big problem. But you see all those hoses and everything. I'm going to have to spray all this stuff with honey goo. That stuff is awesome. All these nuts and bolts so I don't strip them out anymore. Penetrant oils, that kind of stuff, just to get it off. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. I did want to run it up one more time, but it doesn't matter. Like I'm taking this thing right down to the manifold, like down to the top of the heads anyway, to clean out. Like I want to clean out the manifolds, all that stuff. So I don't have a manual like normal. I have to figure this shit out all on my own, as I normally do. And all the air hoses and everything, all this stuff has got to be cleaned. I got to check it all for leaks. I'm not sure. I bet you that's a leak right there. Or not. Like a lot of these hoses should be replaced anyway, so. Yeah. But I was hoping to have it running like today. That's what Glenn was talking about. Okay, I see. Oh, he said, yeah, I put a piece of wood in there to keep the coil in. See the piece of wood? All the way down in there? That's holding my coil in. Because he said he stripped the coils have these little bolts on them. And I don't know if you can see it on this one. I don't have it in this one, but where's the other coil? This engine is so packed in there. But anyway, there's a little coil, like bolt that goes in there, and it's next to impossible to get out when they're seized. So anywho, the good thing is I'm probably going to be doing a lot of Healy coiling on this engine, I think. But I'll take this bracket out. Hopefully without damaging it. I don't care if I damage the bracket. I do not want to damage the manifold, because that's expensive. It's really expensive. I don't like expensive. Yeah, so look at all that corrosion. But again, you get rid of all that corrosion, things are going to run better. You know, things are going to run better. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game. So I got a lot of stuff to remove. It's like Ford said, okay, we're going to design a vehicle. Let's put this big engine in it. Wait, did you design the vehicle big enough for the engine you're putting it in? Or putting into it? Oh, crap. If you want to work on anything on these, every mechanic will tell you the same thing. The pain in the ass about Ford is you have to remove all this just to get to the spark plugs. So, yeah, there's that. You know, like, and I got to go all the way back there for my sparky plugs. And that's, yeah, there's that. How's my belt looking? The belt's not looking so bad, but those pulleys have seen better days. They're kind of rusty and grody. That's probably when things have been sitting, right? Sometimes you just have to, like, spray everything. Just spray it all. You know, just nuke it all with friggin' penetrant spray and hope it doesn't catch on fire when you start it. Sometimes you got to do that, too. Yeah, this vehicle needs to be taken right down to the very to the very bottom. So that's like all my sensors, everything is corroded so bad. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Is just start tearing it apart. So I kind of wanted a before and after of how the engine ran. Now, mind you, last year I did have this thing running, obviously, to get it here. And it ran well enough to get it here, but it barely made it here under its own power. So, again, I got a lot of work to do on this vehicle. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll plan B. I'll go with plan B. I'll start on the throttle body. Get it cleaned up, get everything around it cleaned. That fuel rail, maybe I'll replace that if I have to. If I can do it cheaply. Again, I want to do this on a budget too. Like if anything works on it, I just want it, you know, to clean it up. But I can imagine there's a whole bunch of sensors and stuff that need to be replaced, and who knows, right? And I got to get my magic tape out and marker so I can remember where everything goes. Number everything you take apart. I can't stress that enough. Because once you screw up where something goes and you don't have a manual, it takes a long time, even with a manual, to figure out where things go. So you do spend a lot of time just staring at stuff. That's true. That part is true. So this is why this vehicle isn't the priority, because it just needs a lot. So so much stuff to, you know, corroded. But I mean, the nice thing is there's a lot of these out here. So it's not like I'm going to have a hard time finding parts, you know, but I'm going to try to put as much new parts on it as possible. If I have to get a new throttle body, fine, but I'm not going to waste money on a new throttle body. If I have to go that route, then I save up and I put something, I mean, I'd like to hot rod this engine a little bit. Like I want to leave like the internals, like the compression and all that stuff alone. And the valves and all that, but like when it comes to the outside, like I want a supercharger on it. Big blower going through the hood would be really cool. And I want, you know, maybe independent fuel injection per cylinder. That would be, like throttle bodies per cylinder. That would be kind of cool. Depends which way I'm going to go, right? So anyway, I'm gonna, I guess, start going getting the lube put to it. Have to let that sit for a couple of days. This is why you can't rush this stuff. It's just like if you do, you break stuff. And especially when things are seized on. So like when I have to remove this, you know, I don't want to break all those, because those nuts and bolts could become, especially on something this old, could become unobtainium, meaning no matter how much money you have, you just can't get it. And if you can't get it, it creates problems. And I don't want any more problems than is necessary. So yeah, but otherwise we'll leave it at that for now. And yeah, so anyway, give you a good close-up look at what I'm looking at. I know what most of the things are here, but some of the things I'll have to kind of study up. I'll have to get a manual for these. Nice thing is the manuals are cheap for these too. So anywho, yeah, I guess I'll see if I can get this airbox stuff off out of the way. Give me a little bit more room. And yeah, here we go.